Alright, so we're gonna do the Sabres today, starting from the 2000-2001 season, because I'm not gonna go all the way back to the 70s and start from there. So the 2000 to 2001 season, after coming off a first round playoff loss, Sabres come in fifth place to face against the Philadelphia Flyers in the first round. They won games 1 and 2 in Philly, lost game 3, then won game 4 in overtime. Lost game 5 in Philadelphia, and then they won game 6 on a blowout 8-0 victory to face the Pittsburgh Penguins in the next round. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, they would lose games 1 and 2 at home, but then win games 3 and 4 in Pittsburgh, and then win game 5 in overtime. They would lose game 6 in overtime. In game 7, they led 2-1 in the third period until Pittsburgh scored with 11 minutes to go. And then with 7 minutes left in the overtime, the Penguins had scored to eliminate the Sabres. So in the 2001-2002 season, the Sabres would not make the playoffs. In 10th place in the 2002-2003 season, they'd come in 12th. In the 03-04 season, they'd come in 9th place. Alright, I said no lockout jokes. We're not going to make any lockout jokes. There was a lockout. Moving on. 2005-2006 season, they come in 4th place to face off against the Flyers again. They would win games 1 and 2 at home, then lose games 3 and 4 in Philly. They would win game 5 at home, and then on another blowout victory, they would win game 6 7-1. They advanced to the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Ottawa Senators. They would win games 1, 2, and 3. Lose game 4 in Ottawa. Entering the third period of game 5, tied at 2, there was no scoring for 20 minutes, leading to an overtime. 2.5 minutes into overtime, Pominville would score a shorthanded goal, sending the Sabres to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Carolina Hurricanes. They would win game 1 in Carolina, lose game 2, win game 3, but then they would lose game 4 in Buffalo. They would lose game 5 in overtime, but come back to win game 6 in overtime. They would enter the third period up 2-1. Carolina tied it 2 minutes into the third. Then they scored on a power play, then on an empty netter to eliminate the Buffalo Sabres. In the 2006-2007 season, the Sabres were atop the Eastern Conference. They would face the Islanders, winning game 1 at home, losing game 2, but winning games 3 and 4 in New York. They led 4-1 in the third period. The Islanders scored only 2 goals, allowing the Sabres to advance to the next round against the Rangers. They would win games 1 and 2 at home, lose games 3 and 4 in New York, win game 5 in overtime. They would score 4 goals in the second, leading to the Buffalo victory in game 6. In the Eastern Conference Finals, they would face the Ottawa Senators. They would lose games 1, 2, and 3, but win game 4 in Ottawa. They trailed 2-1 entering the third period. Then the Sabres scored on a power play with 9 minutes to go, sending the game to overtime. Halfway through overtime, Alfredsson scored, eliminating the Sabres. In 2007 to 2008, the Sabres came in 10th place. The next season, they came in 10th place again. But in the 2009-2010 season, they came in 3rd place, facing off against the Boston Bruins. They would win game 1 at home, lose games 2, 3, and 4, win game 5, and then lose game 6 on a game winner scored by former player Miroslav Satan. But the Sabres would be back in the playoffs the very next year in 7th place against the Flyers. They would win game 1 in Philadelphia, then lose games 2 and 3. They would win games 4 and 5, but lost game 6 in overtime. They were eliminated on a 5-2 loss in Philadelphia on Game 7.